Have you ever met someone who, on the surface, seems warm and friendly, but deep down, something in you whispers, "Something's off here"? It's that subtle tension you can't quite explain, the feeling that there's more behind their smile than they're letting on. Carl Jung, one of the greatest explorers of the human mind, had a name for the part of us we hide away: the shadow. The shadow is that side we deny, the impulses we push down, but it still slips out, often in how we treat other people. When someone feels hate, envy, or resentment toward you, they'll usually do their best to hide it. But here's the thing: it never stays hidden forever. The signs are there, quiet, almost invisible. But if you know what to look for, they're unmistakable. Today, I'm going to walk you through 8 clear signs that someone close to you might secretly have hostile feelings toward you, even if they act like your friend. And trust me, sign number 8 is the most dangerous of all, the kind that could completely change how you see certain people in your life. But before we dive in, if you're into topics about personal growth, self-awareness, and psychology, make sure you're subscribed and follow us on YouTube so you never miss our next deep dive. All right, let's get started. Sign number 1: contempt disguised as irony. Hidden hostility doesn't always show up as open conflict. Sometimes it comes dressed in sarcasm, barbed jokes, and just kidding remarks. These are the people who know exactly what topics are sensitive for you, and then they make those topics the punchline. And when you push back, you get replies like, "Relax, I was only joking. Don't be so sensitive." Or the classic, "You just don't know how to take a joke." On the surface, it's humor, but the aftertaste it leaves? Discomfort, humiliation, a little sting you can't quite shake off. When irony keeps hitting the same spot over and over, especially when it's about things deeply personal to you, it's often not about humor at all. It's about a repressed hostility that's leaking through. Jung believed that our personal shadow often gets projected onto other people without us realizing it. So when someone repeatedly uses sarcasm to pick at a certain part of who you are, they may actually be revealing something about themselves, something they can't face or accept. Sign number 2: hidden sabotage. If someone close to you feels threatened by your growth or success, they might not attack you directly. Instead, they chip away quietly. And sabotage isn't always obvious. Sometimes it looks like accidentally giving you the wrong details, leaving out key information you needed, forgetting to mention something important until it's too late, and they always have an excuse. "Oh, I forgot," or "It slipped my mind." Sure, mistakes happen, but if it keeps happening, especially at critical moments in your life or work, it's worth asking, is this really coincidence? Jung pointed out that people who can't face their own failures will sometimes project that frustration outward. By subtly holding you back, they protect their own ego from feeling less than. Sign number 3: silent competition. Some people just can't stand to see you win without feeling the need to one-up you. Every victory you share, they have a story that tops it. You tell them you landed a big client, they tell you about a bigger deal they closed. You share something you're proud of, and they either try to make it about themselves or downplay your achievement entirely. This isn't friendly banter, it's an unspoken rivalry, and it often comes from insecurity. Jung explained that shadow projection can make people see in others the very qualities they wish they had but can't develop. So instead of celebrating you, they compete with you because your success highlights the gaps in their own life. If you notice that conversations with this person constantly feel like a scoreboard, there's probably some sign number 4: superficial support. Not all hostility looks like an attack. Sometimes it's the absence of real support. When you're struggling, they downplay your challenges. When you achieve something, their excitement feels forced. The pattern becomes obvious during big moments: graduations, promotions, personal milestones. They're either absent, distracted, or giving you a half-hearted congrats before changing the subject. Jung called this ego dissociation, when someone emotionally disconnects, often because they can't or don't want to genuinely engage with your reality. And over time, you start to realize this person is never truly there for you when it matters most. Sign number 5: control disguised as caring. Here's a tricky one. Some people wrap their hostility in what looks like help. They'll say it's for your own good, but really, they're trying to control you. They question your decisions, cast doubt on your judgment, and make you second-guess yourself. It often comes in the form of advice that leaves you feeling smaller, less capable, and more dependent on them. Jung believed that the urge to control others comes from an inner fear of chaos. People who can't manage their own uncertainty often try to manage you instead, so they don't have to face their own instability. If you notice that their advice consistently leaves you feeling weaker instead of stronger, that's a red flag. If you've been nodding along so far, hit that subscribe button and drop a super thanks below to help us keep creating content like this. Your support means more than you know. And now, let's keep going. Sign number 6. Gossip and back-channel criticism. When someone harbors negative feelings toward you, they'll rarely say it to your face. Instead, they'll talk about you when you're not around. This can be especially damaging because you often don't realize it's happening until you notice the ripple effects. People around you start acting colder. Friends avoid you without explanation. Colleagues seem distant and you can't figure out why. That's the power of gossip. It works behind the scenes, eroding your reputation piece by piece. And here's the tricky part. It's often wrapped in concern. They'll frame it like they're just sharing something for your own good. But in reality, it's a slow, calculated way of planting seeds of doubt in other people's minds. Jung explained that this habit comes from projection. The gossiper is often revealing their own insecurities by attacking you. People who feel small will try to make others small too. So, if you start noticing a shift in how others treat you without any direct confrontation, it might be worth asking yourself, who's been telling my story when I'm not in the room? Sign number 7. No joy in your success. Here's one of the most telling signs. People who genuinely care about you will light up when you win. They'll celebrate with you, share your excitement, and make you feel seen. But those who secretly resent you, they can't hide the flicker of annoyance in their eyes. You'll see it in their quick change of subject. The way they downplay your achievement with comments like, well, it's not that big a deal. Or by instantly comparing it to their own experience. Oh yeah, I did something like that too. It's not that they can't say the words congratulations. They can, but it's hollow. There's no real warmth behind it. Jung said that when someone struggles to rejoice in another's happiness, it's usually because that success shines a spotlight on their own missed goals or unresolved disappointments. And instead of facing that discomfort, they find ways to make your moment feel smaller. Pay attention to how people react when you share good news. Genuine joy can't be faked for long. Sign number 8. The body always betrays the truth. Words lie, smiles lie, but the body? The body almost never does. Hidden hostility often leaks through in nonverbal cues, little things they don't even realize they're doing. It might be a tight jaw when you talk about an accomplishment, hands stiffening when you walk into the room, avoiding eye contact at certain moments, a compliment given in a slightly different tone. These are subtle, fleeting signals, but they're powerful. Jung believed that the unconscious always finds a way to reveal itself, even when we're trying to hide our true feelings. So, while someone might be saying, "I'm happy for you," their posture, their eyes, their micro-expressions might be telling a completely different story. And here's where your instincts come in. If you've ever felt that strange, unexplainable tension in someone's presence, it's because you've picked up on these non-verbal cues, even if your conscious mind hasn't connected the dots yet. Trust that feeling, bringing it all together. Recognizing these signs doesn't mean you should immediately cut people off. Sometimes these behaviors are unconscious. People act out of their own pain, fear, or insecurity without realizing how it affects others. But here's what's important. Once you notice the pattern, you can set boundaries. You can protect your energy. You can choose how much space you give someone in your life. Carl Jung's work reminds us that we all have a shadow, and sometimes what we see in others is really a reflection of what's unhealed within ourselves. By understanding these signals, you're not just protecting yourself, you're also learning to navigate relationships with more awareness and empathy. If this video resonated with you, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. And if you'd like to support our work, don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, and leave a comment. Your engagement helps us keep bringing you insights like this. Thank you for watching, thank you for growing with us, and I'll see you in the next video.